Hello everyone, I'm Betsy Golden. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am here with actually three fabulous companies, one of which I'm on the design team for, and that is Rita Bearcat. She's a mixed media artist and she does these wonderful girls. And so she has these little cute die cuts that she comes out with every single month. She also has a stamp line, an art foaming line, embossing line, draw yourself line. So she has a lot of fun products. This is some of her embossing powders and her stamps. These are just a few of her stamps and so on and so forth. And these are actually kind of what I'm going to be working with what I'm putting together. But in conjunction with Rita Bearcat, we are doing a collaboration between Finders Keepers, which is a new to me company, and then the ever so wonderful scrapbook adhesive by 3L. This stuff is wonderful and it's a staple in the craft, especially the scrapbooking community. I think I've been using this stuff for 20 years. So I'm super excited to work alongside all three of these companies and come up with something fabulous. Let me tell you about this first. There's adhesive dots and then also, your permanent adhesive runner and whatnot. And then they have out, if you haven't tried this, you've got to, metallic transfer foils and 3D creative sheets. So what you can do is you can actually layer on whatever foil you want onto a sheet that has either been cut into a shape or just straight up lay it on, and then you can go ahead and use die cuts on it, and then you can also emboss it. So it's really cool. You're going to see some of this in this video. All right, and then with the Finders Keepers, this line is a new line to me. They let me pick out what I wanted, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited because it's scrapbooking paper, pattern paper, really nice weight, not too thick, not too thin. I feel like Goldilocks and the Three Bears when I say that. Really cute coordinating stickers. I got to pick out this really cute stamp set, and then they sent this TN, and I have an idea of what I'm going to use for this, but I chose, before I tell you what I'm going to do, I chose the Shenanigan line because I thought it would work beautifully with Rita Bearcat stuff. And if you guys are not familiar with, and both of these are double-sided, so it's basically 6 sheets with 2 sides, so there's total 12 here. I'll just go through this real quick as I tell you a little bit about Rita Bearcat. If you guys are not familiar with Rita Bearcat, you've got to go over to her website. It is bright, colorful, whimsical, magical. She loves fairies. And follow along, sign up for her newsletter. I'm not just saying that because I'm on her design team. I'm also saying that because I really love her and her stuff. She's super upbeat, very positive. She's so much fun, and she is a teacher. She is an instructor. She's taught me so much about mixed media, and how she's just so cool. Like, her attitude is just so awesome. She does these wonderful mixed media Monday nights on her Facebook group. It's Rise and Shine with Rita Bearcat. I really strongly recommend everybody goes over and joins it because the mixed media Monday nights are fantastic. They're totally free and you'll learn so much. And she also works with other companies and gets out stuff, like teaches you how to use products from other companies you may not be aware of. So it's pretty cool. All right, so with this, all of this stuff, all this goodness, I have decided to come up with a scrapbooking kit. One of the things that got me into online communities, forums, and things like that was a scrapbook kit called Scrap Goods, and they sent out a monthly kit where it was standard pattern paper, a technique they would teach you, and then you could add things on. I think you could add 3 things on, and then everything additional was additional on top of that. I really love those kits. I learned a lot. I actually got my pictures scrapbooked. I made a lot of friends, and it really opened up my eyes to social media and whatnot. So I'm going to, they're out of business now. I seriously, it was like a death when they went out of business. I was so sad. But I'm going to create for myself a kit using this as my base. So this paper, this sticker sheet, and these are going to be the base. And then with this wonderful little book, it has dots on it. I'm going to use this as a sketchbook. So I'm going to put in here sketches of everything that you can do with this kit that I'm creating, and you can mimic your own at home. I don't want you to have to rush out and buy, you know, cardstock or things that you have on hand. Like, use what you have. My big thing is using what you have. Like, take the new stuff, that's fun, but use it with what you have to create. Use your stash. You know, you don't want to just be buying. It's okay in my world to buy, as long as you just can incorporate it and have a way to use it with what you have, if that makes any sense. So this is what I'm going to use for my kit, and I'm going to actually do something fun on this. We are doing a blog hop in September, so make sure you are subscribed to my website. It's www.betsgolden.com, and you'll be able to see up close, in addition, at the end of this video, I'll do some pictures, but you'll be able to see up close my sketches and the different examples that you can use to make this kit, to do a similar kit like this, to give you some ideas on getting your scrapbook pages done and caught up maybe, and just having some fun. Okay, so with every kit there is cardstock. So I'm going to kind of clear my space so you can see what I'm putting in this kit. So this is my pattern paper and my cardstock I'm using. I pulled 6 sheets that I think will work from my stash. So it's a purple, really pretty, like maroony type red, a yellow, orange, brown, blue, and then I really liked this piece as well. And I just thought that those would work beautifully with all of this yumminess. Okay, then from there we have our sticker pack, of course. We also have our stamps, and then I want to pull in some of the Rita Bearcat stamps, and I have selected quite a few. Usually only 1 or 2. I love this one, I love this one, she's cool, and so is she. So those are the stamps. And then I also wanted to pull in some of the die cuts that she has out. So I've already showed you some of those. This is another one that I thought would work well with this line, as well as just these beautiful little die cuts. Okay, so far I have stamps, die cuts, stickers, paper. We're not done yet. Usually you would have a fastener in a kit. Usually I always have die cuts and paper and such. Sometimes you get stamps, sometimes not, usually stickers. Usually you have fasteners. Back in the day it was brads or eyelets, maybe buttons if you were really cutting edge. But today I'm actually going to use these little gems from Ink Road Stamps, as well as these little bows from Ink Road Stamps. And they're called Shelly bows. No, they're not technically fasteners, but they kind of will do the job like an eyelet or a button would, where they embellish. And then on top of that, of course, is going to be this, which is going to be like the Bible of this whole process. I'm going to put my sketch stuff in there. You always have ribbon, so I pulled out some different kinds of ribbon that would work with this. So these are the ribbon. And then I also pulled in her embossing powder, because I'm stamping, I could emboss. And then I just have some funky embellishments in my stash that I thought would be great with this. I'm not sure if I'm going to use them, but I've made these using blends, color box blends by Eileen Hall. I actually did these in the group, and her art foamy stamp. So there's always something kind of different and funky in one of these. And then I'm also going to pull in, I forgot to bring it, but some Dewdrops by Tonic Studios. So my challenge to you is to put together a kit. Go ahead, put together a kit. And we're going to work through the kit at your own pace, of course, but I'm going to want to see what you do. So I want you to make sure you post on Instagram and tag me at Bets Golden, because I really want to see what you guys are going to do with your kit that you put together. But this is mine. I'm going to put together some sketches, and then at the end I'll show you some samples. So I'm going to get to work, and then I'll be back. Luckily, you get to watch the whole thing on this, so it's not gonna, you don't have to wait. Like, I might have to take a couple days to finish this, but that's okay, because I think it's going to be awesome and it's going to be fun. I almost forgot. I also am using this transfer foil sheet as well as the creative sheets, and then also the adhesive, and then I did pull these out so you can get an idea of some other types of things you can pull into a kit. Alright, so I actually did go ahead and get my layouts done, and I'm going to explain my little sketchbook I did, but I wanted to show you guys real quick how you can use these 3D foam creative sheets with the transfer foil sheets, because these transfer foil sheets don't require heat, which is pretty awesome. So I'm going to show you just how I like to use them. What I do is I take my transfer foil sheets and I'm just going to do a die, I'm going to die cut it with like some circles. And when whatever leftovers I have, I keep, because I can cut them down and use them as pop-ups on my project, or I can actually use them in my shaker cards. So nothing goes to waste when I do this. All right, so I'm just going to take and lay out some circles on here just to create some embellishments. And just a few. These are like things that I'll always be able to use. I always can use circles. And I really just try to kind of pack in as much as I can on these. All right. Gotta move this down a little bit more. So I'm just going to go ahead and lay these out, run them through my Sizzix machine. And, you know, you may think that it's too big or too bulky and it won't work, but it totally does. So I'm just going to lay that down and run it on through. And you have to use a little bit of strength on this, but that's good. It's all right. And then once they come up, so then I have these circles, and then from here, I'm going to go ahead and cover them with the foil. I popped out those off camera to save time, but all you have to do is just pop one through, and they come right out like so. So it's really easy. And then what I do is I'm going to take my metallic foil transfer sheets and just lay it open like so. I kind of keep them all attached. And then I'm going to just take the one that I want, lay it silver side facing me. I'm going to pop off the sticky sheet. And then I'm going to just lay, I got a bubble in my craft mat. I'm going to lay this down like so, and I'm just going to make sure that I really like rub it in. Like really give a nice rubbing. And if I lift it up and I notice that it didn't adhere in some spots, it's really no big deal. I can just lay it back down. And then let's just see. I'm pretty happy with that coverage. I want it to be kind of, I could like pick up a little bit more. Or what I can do is I can take it and layer it down on a different color. My craft mat is what's giving me grief right now. So let me take this and actually layer it down onto a pink, because there is still some sticky in that. So let me just take and layer this into this pink and see if I can't pick up a little bit of pink residue on this, which is kind of fun. All right. Basically, wherever it's sticky is where it will pick up the transfer. So look at that. How cool is that looking, right? So it's totally like picking up all those spots that was left behind. So you can get a really fun effect with that, like so. So for this one, I'm going to do a couple of them so you can just see how it's done and just the different looks you can get. And then I'm not done. There's 2 more things I can do. Like, you can be done with it at this point. That's pretty cool looking. But there's a couple more things that we can do to this. So I'm going to go ahead and just use this blue transfer. And again, I'm just going to rub it on through like so. And then I'll lift it up. That's cool. And then I'll go back over to this one and kind of over in the same spot, my other one, I'll pick up some more pink like this. How fun is that? And then I can even go over here and layer on some green in spots. See how fun that is? So wherever there is sticky, you can layer it on, and you can just keep layering until you get the coverage and the look that you want. Pretty happy with that. So these 2 are ready for the next step. Let me do this one. This time, let me start off with the pink, and I'm going to actually do it in some of the areas that I used for coverage on the other, so I do get some holes. And I'll put some purple on that as well. So we're going to do it like right there, because I don't want it to be entirely pink. I want the majority to be pink, and then I'm going to go over and pop it on the purple. All right, so there's still stickies. So let me go over to my purple, and as you can see, I've totally worked with this already. And then I'm going to pop this down over here. That's so cool. And again. And again. So that looks really fun. Some fun colors in that one. So we will go ahead and set this one aside. Then I got this small one. So let me go ahead and do this small one with this beautiful dark blue. And then if it doesn't do full coverage, I'll go over and do the lighter blue on this. So I'm doing it so that you can kind of see that stitched edge. That's where I'm laying this down. So this one's is like the beautiful blue. Now this, I believe this pretty much works better on, definitely on the scrap adhesive, that's almost like a perfect coverage. Look how pretty that one is. The metallic transfer foil sheets, that works best with this, just because it's kind of made for it. Like, I think that this works on like a thermo web, but I'm not entirely certain. You might have to use heat on that. But I love this because you don't need any heat. You just need some sticky stuff and you're good to go. So I'm getting a little bit of blue on the edge, a little bit of light blue on the edge. And then for this one, let me go ahead and pop just this think I want to do on this one, start off with the blue, and then I will actually, no, I'll start off with the purple, and then I'll go over with the green. So for this one, so we have not quite perfect coverage on that, which is what I want. And then I will go on over, and you know, I'll do the pink. All right. That's pretty cool. So that's a way to get just a whole bunch of make your own like embellishments. And I'm not even done yet. There's so much more we can do with this, which we're gonna. So just to recap, here are the 4 that I've done already. And now I'm gonna go ahead and actually emboss this. So I'm going to take my embossing folder, which is this one, and I'm just gonna run it through the machine like you saw me do the other one. And I'm going to run these through like so, and then I'll run those through as well. I went ahead and ran this through an embossing folder, and now I have some fun texture on each of these. This is really cool as it is, but I always like to kind of add a little bit of ink just to ink it up and make that texture kind of pop. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to do different colors on different ones. So I want to do on this one, I think I'm going to do the black. So, and I have to use Stays On ink because it needs to be something that when it dries, it's not going to smear off, okay, if that makes any sense. But look how cool that is once you get some ink down on it. Isn't that just so cool? It almost reminds me of leather. It reminds me of like those metallic leather embossed purses because it has that feel to it. The texture on it even feels like that kind of leather. It's so cool. For this one, I'm going to go ahead and do the blue on it, the midnight blue. And I do have some pigment, which is awesome, but it does take a little bit more time to dry. So I just want to keep that in mind when I apply that one. So there's the blue. So now we have the black and the blue. And then for this one, I want to go ahead and I'm going to do like the red on it. And this one's going to be a little bit more subtle. So you can get different looks depending on the different color of ink that you use. For this one, I'm going to use the green on it. And again, this is a pigmented one, so I'm going to need to let it set up a little bit longer than I would the other ones. And then for this one, I'm going to use the snowflake white. And it just really makes that texture pop and adds a little bit more interest to it. All right, so that's just one way that you can use those creative sticky foam sheets. And what's really cool is when I'm ready to use this, I just pop the back off and slap it on like a sticker. Let's get into what I did with this kit that I created with the products I showed you. So what I did with this little sketchbook that I was sent was I used some of the Rita Bearcat embossing powder on it with the stamps that was sent to me, and then I just added this little gal. She's part of the Rita Bearcat dies, and then I put the little kitty cats on pop dots from that leftover foam sheet that I showed you, and then I wrote Sketchy, now you done it. So I used some of the stickers on here, and then I also did the stickers. My intention was to come up with 5 sketches for layouts, but I only came up with 1, and this is the one I came up with because once I got to my other layouts, I had no creative block, and I was able to just create, which is awesome. That's what I want. But I do rely heavily on sketches when I'm having a hard time getting started. And when I haven't scrapbooked in a long time, I do have a struggle. So this came in super handy. And this is the sketch. I'm going to have it up on my blog for you guys to use as well. And then you can just open it up and see. And then I finished off the little book with the little stickers left over that I had. So this is what I did with this. Let me show you the sketches. So, I mean the layouts. So from this sketch, I created this layout. And I used the Sassy Sue, put a little bow in her hair. And then these are all of the stamps. And then I showed you how I did the circle embellishments with the scrapbook adhesive creative sheets and their no heat foil. So that's one of them. Then after that, I really had no problem completing my layouts. My second layout, let me move my camera up a little bit. Or not. Doesn't want to work with me right now. That's okay. My second layout was this one. It was of Mother's Day. And yeah, so I just did that. And I'm going to have all these pictures up on my blog. So make sure you check it out when the hop comes. I'm going to post that link through in the description box once it is here. And I can give you the date for that as well. My third layout that I did was this one. It's actually when my son won the state championship. And again, I did the same technique with the stars. And then I did this one. I love using white space. And so it's just a picture of me. And then I colored in the stamped image. I did some punches on this. So I didn't run it through a die cut machine. I just had some heart punches and I punched it out and I didn't bother embossing on that. So there's that one. And then last but not least, I kind of took everything I had left over and did this page about my daughter. Perfect for her. I declare shenanigans, and she'll say things like, as a matter of fact, I was raised by wolves and my plan for complete world domination. And then I just took these pretty little mermaids because I think that mermaids are kind of a little bit sassy, so I thought it matched really well. All right, so that blog hop is happening on with the Rita Bearcat design team on my channel September. I'm looking right now. September, I want to say it's the first Tuesday in September. So it is going to be, maybe it's the 9th. I don't know. I will have it listed in the description box. I apologize. I thought I knew better. It's only July right now. I worked ahead. All right, you guys. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. And if you haven't subscribed, I hope you consider doing so. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Until next time, happy crafting.